Hello, beautiful artisans. So, welcome to Echo Art with Carmella-T. I have been making yo-yos today. If you are new to the channel, we create with all recycled fabrics, materials, and supplies, and organic fabrics also. And it's our way to give the earth a little hug. And if you're coming back, thank you so much for coming back. I love your comments, your suggestions, and your masterpieces that you share with us. So yes, I have been making a number of yo-yos, and a few things I want to say. I've got two videos that I'm going to be dropping over the weekend. It may be in between us completing this yo-yo scarf, or it might be just after. But one is going to be, as I had promised a viewer, the different ways that you can create with Boro Sashiko without cutting up an absolutely beautiful piece of fabric that you just don't want to cut up. Okay, so that's one. And so we'll look at a variety of ways. And then the second video is going to be on the history of yo-yos. Because it's super interesting. Now, I've gone a little bit into it before, but I want to go a little bit deeper and share with you some of the fashionable trends that occurred through the centuries with yo-yos. And they were called rosettes. Anyway, it's super interesting. These go back to the 1600s at the very least. I think if I dig a little deeper, I'm going to find these even farther back or something similar to them. So with that, we're going to get started with this today and check this out. So I want to just show you, I'm going to move this. That is my afternoon coffee, which I need to sip on to get through this without losing my voice this afternoon. Now, I have not completed all of my yo-yos, and this is the reason. I was going to, and then a viewer said, hey, why don't you complement these with purple? And I just love it. Now, I don't have purple. I was working on, let's see. Oh, I don't have it with me, but I was working, yeah, here it is. I was working on this lighter fabric. We were going to add this for yo-yos, and I can scout out some purple. So I'll go to the thrift shop in the next day or so, and then when we come back, I'll have some purples, and then we'll complete this. Now, I want to share with you, before we get started on the type of designs I'm thinking of anyway, is when I cut out the fabric, the silky fabrics, the one thing I found is if I used the tip of the scissors, like cutting just with the tip of the scissors here, it worked much better going around and not creating jagged cuts into the fabric. Because the fabric is so silky and light, I also, before I cut it, I needed to pin it down very extra securely, more than I did for a cotton piece of a circle to create a yo-yo. So those were the two things that I found. So that did slow me down a tiny bit. Now, when I actually did my running stitches all around the edges, it went super duper fast. So that was great. However, I really couldn't, from beginning to end, could not do one yo-yo in it took about 10 minutes. I couldn't do it under 10 minutes. I was trying. This is about a 10-minute process from very beginning to the end. So anyway, with that, I want to show you a few of the designs that I've been doing and laying these out. So one idea, the very first thing I did anyway, is, okay, so first I want to share with you the sizes, right? And then I'll show you the different designs. So the larger size, this larger size is based on a circle that is not sewn, is about 8 inches. So then when you sew it into a yo-yo, it's 4 inches. So this is about 4-inch diameter. And then I have a smaller yo-yo. So you see it's not too much smaller. but it's smaller. So this is based on a 6-inch diameter circle that is not sewn yet. That's the raw circle. And then when you sew it, you're getting about a 3-inch diameter yo-yo. So with that, the first thing that I did is I just laid out my yo-yos, kind of toggling the colors. I wanted to see what the contrasting looked like in these yo-yos for these florals. Turn it like that for you. There we go. Okay, so I loved that. You know, if you did a straight scarf like this, that could be considered a skinny scarf. So I'm just trying to turn that. There we go. So that could be considered a skinny scarf. Now, if you take the same idea and just conservatively put these yo-yos next to each other and create 2 rows. I keep moving this because as I move the yo-yos, I want to give you a better view. So you see we have 2 rows. So this is bringing it about a width of 8, which is a typical width of a scarf, 8 and larger. And if we wanted to, we could take these small yo-yos and just put them right in the center here where there's spaces, just like we did with our quilts. Look how adorable that is. That's a very beautiful full scarf. Now, the scarf I was very interested in making, and I am still interested in making, is taking 1 row like this, taking a row, and then working with the spaces here to create like a zigzag effect. So it comes out like that. So I'm going to put that up here. You see how it's kind of just going like that. So when these are sewn together, I would be able to hold it up and show you the beautiful zigzag effect. So now you could do that, or you could do things like this. You could have, let's say you could play with the patterns if you wanted to, and have 2 large, and then 2 small, you know, 2 large yo-yos, 2 small yo-yos, and then, here, we'll do this for the heck of it. We'll put these larger ones here, and then these smaller ones. They're kind of toggling them. That's large, small. And then go back to your larger. So you could do that. I mean, that's that's an adorable effect. Totally adorable. And that could be a really adorable skinny scarf. You could use that effect right there, and then you could start playing around with a zigzag again, and maybe with the large and the small, and then put maybe the large down there, and then the small. So there's a lot that you can do. I'm finding almost anything that I do is coming out really super pretty. Now, if you want to go ahead and you just want to start connecting your yo-yos, there's a few ways you can do it. I totally love the effect of the tie knot. I really believe I'm going to pick a special color of crochet, lacy crochet thread, and use the tie knot to connect mine. Now, however you do, what you want to do is put your yo-yos back to back and then pick your spot to connect them. Now, you can either just do a few slip stitches, so you're going horizontally here. You could do a few slip stitches. If you do that, start on the inside. Just put your needle on the inside of your yo-yo and just slip stitch, and then make a very light knot so that you can pull that knot back through the next yo-yo, and so it can rest inside the yo-yo. but make sure you have the knots. I would do at least a double knot, at least. You don't want it to slip out and come apart. You want it to make sure it can sustain. So, and or you can do your tie knot where it's visually, you're seeing the knot, you're seeing the tails and whatnot. So on the very next, on the next video, if I can find purple, I will complete the scarf with the purple. If I can't find the purple, we'll complete it with what I have on hand, and I will have built or constructed and designed my scarf with leaving a few unsewn so I can share with you how I sew the yo-yos together. So with that, I hope that this helps. I hope that you have an absolutely beautiful rest of the day. If you have any questions, let me know, and and suggestions. And I thank you for your comments. So those comments just, created a couple of more videos for us. So with that, you have a beautiful evening. I'm sending you love and light.